Today, I read my friend's poetry. Yes, I did beg her to send her artistry to me for a final in my literature class, but in all honesty, I was quite curious of what her brain could conjure up, or what it conjured up in the past. She's always amazed me with how smart she is, always coming up with some cool fact or analyzing a movie, song, or scene with the movie for me. We come from the same hometown, Wichita, Kansas, where she currently resides. Before today, I'd never read her poetry before. This poem is called Birds by Parra Kanady. I saw birds on a line today. Most of them seemed to chat and laugh, whistling to a tune unknown, and after a while flew away, leaving one bird on the line. It seemed to stay, just for me, and then fly away, following the others. In the distance, I hear their tunes, their hums, and wondered if that lonesome bird was singing with them, or was he left out, like he was before. I saw myself in the birds today. She really is a talented poet, even without a bias. I found that a theme in the poem was that people learn about who they are just by observing what they see around them. Especially in the line that stood out to me, I saw myself in the birds today. Our author, Julie, feels left out. She feels alone, following the crowd, wondering whether she's humming along with the rest of the population of birds. In this poem, she shows that she feels singled out, expressing that the bird she saw herself in was for her in a way. As shown in this line, it seemed to stay just for me. The bird stayed for her, but not for long, leaving her alone once more. The tone of this beautiful poem seemed to be a bittersweet melancholy tone, happy to see the birds and somewhat sad to see herself within them. A part that showed the tone of the poem is, in the distance, I hear their hums, and wondered if that lonesome bird was singing with them, or was he left out like he was before. This quote in particular shows us just how lonely it could be, even in a room full of people, or a flock of birds, feeling different or left out, as everyone around you is seemingly chatting and singing carelessly. Julie uses imagery in the birds to express maybe the lack of freedom she has within herself, as shown here, and then fly away, following the others. The bird is left by the rest, only to follow after a while of being alone. I think this symbolizes how our author begins to feel left out, only to follow the flock that left her behind, trying to fit in. She's learning that she can be a bit of a follower, not wanting to be alone. Just like the rest of us, she's learning about herself through what she sees and how she feels. I found in the poem, leaving one bird on the line is a turn from the many laughing and chatting birds to just one lonesome bird left on the line. The tone switches to a melancholy tone, one of loneliness, then stays that way for the remainder of the poem. Even the enchantments at the end of every line in the poem show us how loneliness is something we can feel, something that most people don't and wouldn't want to embrace. The lack of punctuation joins the poem in one large stanza, one large sentence, just one whole work of art, a lonely work of art. This was the poetic analysis of Parra Kanady's Birds.